happy for General Obasanjo. I wish to congratulate him. Happy birthday. And I pray that God will grant him more years ahead, particularly healthy years ahead. I think he's a lucky man. I got involved in the campaign that made him president. Even before he was sworn in his own bedroom on his farm at Abeokuta.
In Ota.
Yeah, in Ota. His plan was to make me chief of staff. But to be honest with you, I didn't know what the responsibility of chief of staff was to be. But let's leave that apart. But a day to his being sworn in, even after I had told him, Azoga, you should have taken a photograph that will be framed for office ministries. That it won't be good by tomorrow when the swearing in is done. Your photographs are not on the wall. I just want to let you know to that extent. So, because sometimes you talk to him, it takes a long time before he agrees with you. I mean, maybe his method is that he wants you to give more reasons why you are making the suggestion you are making. Of course, people have congratulated them, but I swear to God, you may not believe it. I prayed not to go into that job because I just felt that it was possible for me to run into disfavor of Obasanjo because I will tell him how I felt in certain things. He may not feel too happy.
Today's your friend's, your boss. It's 85 years today. That is General Murthala Olusegun Obasanjo. As we are talking here now, they are celebrating, they are doing something for him in Abeokuta. I think the symposium or something like that. How will you wish him happy birthday and how are you going to describe General Olusegun Obasanjo at 85? I mean, the man is still going around. It's called Eboro. Maybe you are the Eboro of Iyah-Gbede.
I'm happy for General Obasanjo. I wish to congratulate him. Happy birthday. And I pray that God will grant him more years ahead, particularly healthy years ahead. I think he's a lucky man. He should be grateful to his God. He has lived well in every respect. And so needs to be grateful to God. And we thank God too, those of us who are gradually following behind him and following his footsteps. And he's continuing doing what he's doing. If somebody has been doing something for close to 80 years, I know he's 84, but he couldn't have been doing anything at the age of 4. That's why it's 80 years. Should I not?
85.
No. You don't. You still don't get it, which is what I'm trying to emphasize.
Okay, sorry, sir.
He's 85 or 84,
Okay,
but then I say may God grant him more years to continue to do what he has been doing for the last 80 years, because the first 4 or 5 years he was doing nothing. He was a child. He was a young person. This is what I'm saying. Yes. And I'm making this explanation, just like the mistake you made. Many people will say I'm reducing his age. No, he couldn't have. What could he have been doing at the age of 4? So, so
Yorùbá will say kìlọ̀ ọmọdé mọ̀. Yorùbá will say kìlọ̀ ọmọdé mọ̀. Àbí kó wọ ṣọ kó dẹ̀ ṣe àyà sílẹ̀.
Exactly. And I read one paper actually yesterday that, a child has to be able to decipher what is good from what is bad from the age of 7. In other words, you can start punishing him for misbehaving from the age of 7. He should know what is good from what is bad. Not in every respect, but generally. So this is why I minus that 5, okay?
These are holiday years.
So, Obasanjo works hard. And when you give him a write-up, you will be surprised. Particularly council papers. You think he won't read them? And by the time you meet in the executive chambers, he has read the entire, or at least, at the very worst, he has glanced through the whole thing. And he takes control. Of course, if your paper comes before the council, and the first comment he makes would give you an idea whether your paper will go through or not. So if you assume he hasn't read it, you probably have messed yourself up. So he's a very hard-working man. He's a thorough man. And then, of course, he himself is conscious of his talent. So he can damn anybody, and he's lucky.
But sir, can you recall your most challenging moment with him, working under him as an officer and administrator? Can you recall one single experience that you never forget?
To be honest with you, no, I can't, because each time I went to him, I would have done my homework, and I enjoyed working with him, because it's either is yes, is yes, is no, is no. You understand? And I was free with him. I could tell him how I felt. The only occasion that I didn't feel too comfortable was when the relationship between him and Chief Awoniyi was strained. I happen to be closer to Chief Awoniyi. He's from my place. Obasanjo is my boss, not just because he's my boss. I believed in him. He's hardworking. I got involved in the campaign that made him president. Even before he was sworn in his own bedroom on his farm at Abeokuta.
In Ota.
Yeah, in Ota. His plan was to make me chief of staff. But to be honest with you, I didn't know what the responsibility of chief of staff was to be. But let's leave that apart. And so And I also believe that he believed that I'm a competent officer. And if you give me a task, I'll do it. I'll perform. And so he told me on his own that he was planning to make me his chief of staff. But I didn't know what that meant. And as a result of information reaching me, we went to meet him at his farm. And then, of course, we flew here.
To this house?
No, okay. To Abuja. When it came to, we came here midnight in 2 aircrafts. I didn't stay in 2 aircrafts. And that is the beginning of gradual takeover. And so, in fact, it was when we got here, I started gathering information as to what is the role of chief of staff. But a day to his being sworn in, even after I had told him, you should have taken a photograph that will be framed for office ministries. That it won't be good by tomorrow when the swearing in is done. Your photographs are not on the wall. I just want to let you know to that extent. So, because sometimes you talk to him, it takes a long time before he agrees with you. I mean, maybe his method is that he wants you to give more reasons why you are making the suggestion you are making. And so, they arranged some dresses on the bed, which had just come from the washerman, the laundryman. And this is, I should come and select which one he should wear for the photograph. And I said, okay, but your wife is there. So I went to call the wife.
Lady Stella.
Yes. Anyway, I just use this as illustration to you. So I got on well with him, and he believed in me. And, you know, for example, let me give you another example. There was hardly anything I told him, and I knew I was not going to misdirect him, that he wouldn't consider. Then I had to tell my wife, one day when I got, I said, I pray to God, I will never, not to misadvise Obasanjo. Because I can remember 3 concrete things. And he never asked me question, how? The first money I asked for police out of budget was 2.5 billion. And he approved it. But he then told me what to do so that they do not embarrass me in the future, which is exactly, I took it to the Executive Council for approval. And this money, actually, we saw it in the Ministry of Finance. Finance says it belongs to police. Police doesn't know how it got there. Actually, at the time I was there, that is the money we were using. Anytime salary didn't come in time. But as soon as we got salary allocation, we returned the money. And so when I left, they discontinued that. That's when the police went on strike. So going back to your question, it was only.
He became the chief of staff, really.
Of course, people are congratulated, but I swear to God, you may not believe it. I prayed not to go into that job because I just felt that it was possible for me to run into disfavor of Obasanjo because I will tell him how I felt in certain things. He may not feel too happy. So when you ask us to any embarrassing situation, it's only that of Chief Awoniyi because I had to tell Asioka, call Chief Awoniyi, tell him what you feel. You have friends. And so this type of misunderstanding shouldn't occur between you and him. Anyway.
But were you, in your heart of hearts, did you think you played a good role? Did you think you gave your good sacrifice by supporting late Chief Sunday Awoniyi than a boss that you have known?
First of all, it's not a matter of supporting. Okay. I looked at the situation. It's not boxing. It's not a financial matter. But in you saying, I think this is the best way. I mean, if somebody wants something, and he believes on you, and you are the one who invited him to come and help him, he ought to tell you this is what I want. And if he has told you, if you think he won't get it, if you think he won't get it, tell him, these are my reasons for not giving you support for this. That's all.
Just as simple as that?
Yes.
But what was Chief Awoniyi looking for then?
It has been agreed before then. Chairman of the party.
That is PDP, People's Democratic Party.
Yes.
So it was given to Gemade or was?
No.
Okay, Solomon La.
Yes. And in fact, to let you know how simple Awoniyi was, he was the one who raised last hand that this is our chairman. There's one hotel there. What is the name?
Okay, I remember that.
It's still there now.
Yeah, forgotten the name.
That's why we held the meeting. And the young...
Awoniyi raised last hand.
Yes. And the young men from the north, young men, when I say young men, some of them became governors later. It was Awoniyi they wanted. To the extent that at the time we were to enter the hall, they came, and maybe I don't know whether this word would be right, to accost Chief Awoniyi or prevent him from going, that he shouldn't go in, except they guarantee that he's chairman.
So they anticipated the embarrassment? Maybe they anticipated the embarrassment?
No, they've known, and that's what they did. So it was then, of course, there are people Chief Awoniyi can afford to disregard or neglect. And I agree with him. But I said, and if he didn't go in, I was not sure PDP could be registered. And that was the last day for registration. So I was now between Chief Awoniyi and some of these people who I know pretty well, young men. And I know they are his boys, also his men. Pleaded with them that they should let him go in. And if he didn't go in, the party may be stillborn. I also went to Chief Awoniyi himself and pleaded with him to go in. And each time he attempted to go in, some of these boys held his shirt. Now, let me be honest with you. I shed tears.
Why you shed tears?
Because I knew what this country was going towards destruction. See the effort we've made? I was the chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee. It is my constitution they used to register PDP. And I came to live here in a way. I left Lagos after some efforts. Then we came here, finalized the constitution over 6 weeks. it is your question that brought this answer. That was there any time.
So that you could define that as one of the a sad experience in your over 4 decade affair with General Obasanjo.
You said what?
I said you could define that as just one of the lonely, sad experience in your over 4 decade with General Obasanjo.
Yes. And up to today, I never discussed it. And sure, that's just it.
But afterward, were you able to reconcile? Because a lot of people believe that you lost you didn't do that was why you left the police as police affairs minister after 2 years. Because you are principled. People say because you are principled, that's why you decided to leave government.
It didn't disturb my relationship with Obasanjo. He's the boss. He's the boss.
Are you saying he's the boss of all bosses?
I don't know for all bosses, but we are talking about political situation now. He was the boss. And so how can I sit down and say he must accept my views? I was not the president.
But I hope Chief Awuni appreciated your effort then as a political son.
First of all, I didn't do it for Awuni. I did it because it's what how I felt and what I believed in. And not only that, I was fighting for Awuni, or I was supportive of Awuni out of all those people came, because they said, it has been decided the person should come from North Central. Okay. It's not something you are fishing about. It has to come from North Central. And we know this man who became chairman, and unfortunately is dead now, was not the right caliber at that time. And Awuni was not asking for that position for money. Instead, it was his own money he was spending. And we wanted to start a clean slate for this country, to show people how party could be run, how political party could be run, how politics should be played. Some people were spending their money, not government money.
Will you say PDP is dead now, or you think it can still be resuscitated? People are saying that maybe they bring Jonathan in 2023.
I've been reading that too. Jonathan is a great man. He's a decent man. But why are we always in a confused state in Nigeria? So I don't understand. It's left to Jonathan if it's what he wants. But if I were him, I would look at it very critically before deciding. But I can assure you, if you feel that the way he was treated was not good, the same who did that treatment are still there. So, but it's left to him. It's left to him.
But if it's brought on the ballot tomorrow and is put against someone like the other one, someone, Bola Tinubu or something, or do you think he's going to win with the kind of...
I don't know, but I may vote for him. It depends if you bring someone that will look at him and he's not good enough. But what I'm saying, he must be very certain those who are approaching him now are not going to mess him up. That's all I'm saying, because he's a decent man. I like him. Put it the way I said it. I like him personally.
You like President Jonathan personally?
Yes.
And you think, do you think he has learned his lesson? Because when he was there was a lot of uproar, there were bombings, there were financial malfeasance everywhere. People even believed that women were running. I mean, he has 5 female ministers, including his wife, that people believe were hijacked the government and that was not in charge. So do you think he will have learned his lesson now? Maybe he could do something better.
First, you just express an opinion. Maybe the opinion you express now represent the opinion of people outside there, because you have better opportunity of interacting with them. But that is opinion. And people will always hold their opinion about anybody. Okay? So we must also take note that it's not easy when you get to that position to act in a way as if you are no more part of the society.
But a lot of people believe that when you people get to that position, you are distanced and distracted from society. Elitism takes over. I mean, from your private jet to your car to your house.
You can imagine for how long you've taken my time here.
I know, sir.
Now, how many people you think I can have that time for?
I met a lot of people you are signing for. When I came here, you are writing notes for this and that to go and meet the senator.
That's right. That's what I'm asking now. How many people
Very few.
out of the meaningful people in this country can you meet that way? The point is that I'm trying to make really is this. When you get to that position, it's not easy. Everybody wants to see you. And there are 24 hours in a day. You can't add more hours to the 24. And are you just going to see two people and disregard the others? Then the opinion you are holding now, some of these others will hold worse opinion. He too must sleep. If he doesn't sleep, he will die. And we say, yes, he didn't see me. He's dead now. But the man who takes over, will also die. Okay? Don't forget, politics is not being played the way it should be played in Nigeria. As you are sitting here and these two people, they come from somewhere. They have their House of Assembly member, House of Representatives member, Senate, they have their senator. Maybe if you are this young man now, he doesn't know the name of his senator. What is the name of your senator?
What's the name of the senator?
Okay, actually,
What is the name of your senator?
actually, I'm a Ghanaian, so I can only give a Ghanaian senator. Yes, sir.
What is the name of your senator in Ghana?
There's one they call Kufo, which is not the president, but for my
Just Kofo.
Kufo Asante, just on my terrain. Sir. Yes, sir.
That's okay.
I didn't know it was a Ghanaian thing. It's one of the technical staff was brought here.
No, that's okay. Asante, anybody, you could call anybody from West Africa. Asante is so common name, it's like Abdullah in Nigeria. So, and when you started with Kofo, then it's Asante. Eh? Then you, what is the name of your counselor?
Honestly, I've not seen him before. I've not seen him before.
He said he has not seen him before.
Very good. You are telling me the truth now. Where are you from?
I'm from Ile-Ife.
Okay.
From Ile-Ife.
Good. The source.
Yes, sir.
All right. Who is your House of Representatives?
I did not know him.
Very good. Who is your senator? Look,
He didn't know. It's from Ife. He didn't know.
how old are you?
I'm 50.
Eh?
I'm 50 plus, sir.
And you don't know.
He's 50 plus.
Now, this man has qualified by age to be president. Should you imagine?
Qualified to be president of Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yes. You said you are 50 plus?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
I met you when I was 7 in Bogon.
You were?
When I was 7 years old, I met you in Bogon.
He said he met you in Bogon when he was 7 years old.
What were you doing?
That's my mother's town. That's my mother's
Which
town.
year was
You came as a head of state then.
No, as a governor.
As a governor.
As a governor of West Africa.
Yes.
He said you came to the Bogon then as governor, that he met you when he was just 7.
Bogon, because I know Bogon, then good friends. Dr. Toyosi is dead now. His wife happened to be German. And then some other people there. There's one Alabi. Alabi is dead now. Yeah. Yes.
So He doesn't know. It means that we don't know our representative. And when you are saying that when Jonathan is there, a lot of people want to see you, and that the position of presidency is not easy.
Yes. So this is it.
So, but you think Jonathan, if he comes back, people will take him in since you are going to vote for him?
Well, I mean, I vote for him if he comes. I mean, because one, he's a gentleman, as I said. Again, he's not arrogant. He's from a, so to say, minority. He means well for this country. There's no doubt about it. And he did his best. So that is it.
On a last note, what do you think Nigeria should treasure much about Obasanjo at 85? Because that's how we started. What do you think Nigeria should treasure about him? Because he's also a good letter writer, and people believe that his letters that he wrote destroyed Jonathan's government, that he wrote letters that brought Jonathan's government down. He has written like 3 letters to Buhari now, President Buhari too. He's a good letter writer, and he bring out issues. So what do you think Nigeria should treasure about him? Is this his marriage life, his political life, or his intellectual life? And what really is extraordinary about him?
All the good things associated with his character in all the topics you've mentioned. Do you understand my answer?
I understand that we should take all the good things associated with his character in the areas I've mentioned.
Exactly.
So Obasanjo should be appreciated as an academic, as a soldier, as a farmer, and as a father.
Yes.
If you have a second chance in another war, would you still like to work under him?
Oh, it's not a matter of wanting to work under him or not. I've never decided under whom I want to work. Just opportunity. And what I can assure you, I will have no regret if I have to work with him or work under his leadership. No regret.
But let me ask you this funny question. If he has made you chief of staff, then will you reject it or will you have experienced the role?
You don't, I mean, there's no way, oh, okay, it's a good question. I almost, now, there's no way I could have rejected it. Okay? The fact that they thought of me means that they saw some qualities in me. And I will have strived to live up to their expectation. And the idea of rejecting it wouldn't have arisen.
But when you now had your name called as Minister of Police Affairs, were you shocked?
No, not shocked. Not shocked. I got to know before we finally went for the swearing in that I was no. In fact, the night before, I got to know that I was no more going to be the chief of staff. And as I said, I never prayed to be chief of staff because I didn't know. Although if they made me chief of staff, I would have done my best. But I probably wouldn't have done anything better than the person who finally was appointed into that office. For various reasons, some of them, you know, for various reasons. Let me just put it that way. So that is that. So, I don't know. What is your next question? Then we'll bring it to another.
On your last note, sir, can you give the president now, General Buhari, what advice do you have to give him? Because every time I come to you, when I met you in Kogi, in Iyah, I asked you the same question. When I met you in Lagos, in Ogudu, I asked you the same question. Today in Abuja, I'm going to ask you, what are you going to tell the president to do at this critical moment of our country? He has just given instruction that they should make security tighten in our 8 borders. These are our border lines, and so that people will not come in. Do you think this is coming late? But what do you think you are going to tell him? Because people are watching in Europe, in America, in London, and some people believe your intelligence is worth it. It's worth the task. So what are you going to advise General Muhammadu Buhari, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, to do at this critical time for this country?
To be honest with you, it's very difficult for me to be specific. It's fairly difficult because he has gone more than halfway of his term. If it were at the early part of his term now, it could have been fairly different.